Do you think that when young Benedict set out to find his true calling, it ever occurred to him that his work would still be serving the Lord today, all around the world? Saint Benedict of Nursia, Italy, was born in 480 to wealth and privilege to a Roman nobleman. His childhood was one which wealth provides: the good life in Rome, an excellent education, servants, governess, and yet, interestingly, a thirst for a deeper understanding of God. He had every right to live the high life of a young nobleman, but chose to leave his father's home, lifestyle, and inheritance in search of a life in the service of the Lord. During his teen years, he left Rome with an old servant who insisted on accompanying him to find a quiet place to pursue a life of solitude and prayer. They settled briefly in the mountains of Enfedi, where he encountered some men with similar religious interests. Benedict performed his first miracle there, when he reconstructed an earthenware tray that his servant had broken. Word spread and his popularity increased, so Benedict continued his search for privacy and moved on to Sobokia, where he located an isolated cave near a monastery. He met a friend, Ramonius, who lived in the monastery and understood Benedict's need for seclusion. He offered him occasional sustenance and support while he lived and studied as a hermit for 3 years. When the local abbot died, he was even asked to be abbot of the monastery, but Saint Benedict was developing his own very specific beliefs as to how groups of monks should live in their prayer and public lives. Benedict developed his own order, guided by the rules of Saint Benedictine, which became accepted throughout the religious world and is said to be a major influence on the development of European culture. His religious order included deacons, priests, brothers and nuns, and requires a vow of obedience. They've built monasteries, an array of schools, taught children, preached, built gardens, fed the poor, clothed the naked, visited the sick, and buried the dead, performing the work of the Lord that continues today in many countries of the world, in the form of congregations, monasteries, universities, and missions. Saint Benedict died while standing in prayer to the Lord. He was canonized in 1220 by Pope Honorius III and is known as the patron saint of Europe. His feast day is celebrated on July the 11th.